Hi everyone, welcome. We're in an event, so we're going to hang out just for a minute. See if I can get myself pulled up. So I can see comments and see when Gia gets me put in. There we go. Okay, so I want to welcome all of you. Thank you for being here. So we're going to hold off until I see some eyes. I see somebody. So we're in a Creative Crafters Ensemble event today. So as soon as I see I'm in the event, we'll get started. So if you're on, say hi so I can see if the comments are working or I need to go back out and in again. So welcome. Hi Brenda, thank you. I appreciate it. You're always my first one on. I appreciate you. So as soon as I see Gia's got us in, we'll get started. This is the Creative Crafters Ensemble group. Hi. I'm hoping the comments are working today, because it is very difficult when they're not. Hi Julie. Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate it. So this is an event. Hi Mom. So as soon as I see Gia, we'll get started. Now, the phone says it's 1. My clock over there says it's 5 till. So thank you, Gia. I appreciate it. This is Creative Crafters Ensemble. This is Christmas July Party. I'm Jenna with Apple Dolly Creations. And I am using a very old pattern. Well, it's not a pattern. I'm going by an old picture I had. Now this was either a McCall's or a Simplicity pattern, where you took moons and made all kinds of things out of it. So this is going to be a Santa, and I'm going by, thank you, I'm glad you're watching. So we're making a Santa. So I made this a couple of days ago. Now this original pattern, the moon was like 30 inches long. I shortened this. This is 17 by, I think, 14. And I changed it up some. I took a 4-inch circle, made a yo-yo, and I stuffed it. This is his nose. Everything has been coffee stained. Now this is his beard, his hair. I took just a piece of notebook paper. This is 6-inch circle, and I spiraled it, and that's how I got his beard to be wavy like that. So I think I did 36 of these circles. Yeah, my hand was quite tired when we got done. So hi Sandy, welcome. I think you're new to me, aren't you? So we're going to take this at the moon and we're making a Santa. And I'm using 2 different shades of pink. This is Waverly Ballet Slipper. And this one is Apple Barrel Cameo Pink. These are his face. That's actually all the painting that we're doing. Oh, thanks, Julie. If you follow me for a while, you know my brain thinks of things that, you know, other people don't. Or I come up with things that I've had people look at me and think, how did you see that? I don't know. I've been doing this all my life, so maybe that's it. So I'm taking the chalk paint and we're going to paint his face on. Oh, you're fine, Sandy. You're fine. So if you're not following Creative Crafters Ensemble, please go follow. It's a free group. I was making a dress yesterday and I have thread everywhere. So I sort of have lines drawn on here with a water-soluble fabric pen, just so I know his hat's going to go here, the face is, you know. So we're just going to paint this. So this is more of a peachy pink. I wouldn't actually say, it's called Ballet Slipper, but I would say it's more of a peachy color. Rosebrook Cottage. Yes, I thought you were, Sandy. Well, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. So we are only painting the front half of his face because nobody is going to see the back. So all of my muslin has been coffee stained. Rosebrook Cottage. I know I should know your name, but I'm in a bit of a flare-up, and when I have a flare-up, my thought process is not right. So if you could tell me your name again, I would appreciate it. So we're just making a straight line because his beard's going to cover that up. So we don't need to round off the bottom of his face. So my comments is coming and going. So if I miss your comment, and I do apologize, I read every comment after my live. Just making sure this gets a good coat on here, because it does soak in. Hi, Kay. Shauna, hi. So those of you who are new to me, I live in Middle Georgia. I am originally from Pennsylvania. So if you're new to me, tell me where you're watching from. What state? So there, I think that's good. And I just stuck my arm on his face. It's over 100 here. But when my hubby is home, he keeps the house really cold, so I wear long sleeves. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. So we're going to dry his face. So those of you just joining, this is Christmas July Party with Creative Crafters Ensemble. Tracy, welcome. Tracy is on at 5. Up after me is Rustic Daisies with Renee. So we're going all the way till our last presenter is at 7 o'clock today. Oh, you're in North Atlanta. Well, I'm an hour south of the airport. Hi, Donna. Donna, did your storms finally stop? We're getting more today. We had an awful storm yesterday. Oh, you're near Rome. Okay, so you're not really that far from me. Thank you, Tracy, for sprinkling. Hi, Barb. Welcome. So if I quit putting my fingers in the paint. So that's what we have so far. This is going to be his face. I didn't do the back because his hat's going to be covering. So I'm also going to take the Cameo Pink, and I'm just going to put some highlights on his nose because I made him a nice big nose. Did for a little while. Yeah, our storm last night was awful. So I'm just giving his nose a little bit of color. Not a lot. I'm not coloring or painting the whole thing. I'm just doing some highlights and really light. I'm spreading out that paint really thin because we don't need a lot on his nose. But because he's Santa, he's out in the snow, and thank God I don't have snow anymore, or not a whole lot like Pennsylvania. Hi Natalie, welcome. Hi Deborah. Yeah, you're an hour north, I'm an hour south. So he's out in the snow. That's one of the main reasons my husband and I moved south, is get away from all that's Pennsylvania snow. So we're just doing a little bit of color. And I'm really brushing that out to make it thin. So if you wet your brush as you go, you can spread that paint even more. So just a little bit of color on there. So what you see me dipping into is water, and I'm just spreading that paint out. Okay, there's his nose. And that's all the painting. We might go back and add some highlights on his face after we get, hi Kay, after we get his face, hi Deborah, together. So, I made his hat, and it fell on the other side of my sewing machine. This is a Daisy Kingdom fabric. It has gingerbread and pine and lights and stars and candy canes on it. So this is his hat. So I got everything already sewn. All we're going to do is assemble this because I wasn't sure we would have time to do all of this. So let's find a spot for his nose. I like to put the nose on before I do glasses or eyes. So I think maybe I should paint the other side of this, his face. Even though the hat's going to be covering most of this, I want this a little bit further around because we're going to give him, he has two eyes and wire glasses. So yeah, we need to paint this around. Just so when it's hanging, you see his face on the other side too. So this one I'm not painting as solid because most of it you're not going to see. You're only going to see a little bit at the seam, the center seam of it. But we don't want to make our project look half finished. So I woke up this morning. I was thinking about this event all day yesterday. I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, my moon isn't stuffed. I gotta stuff it. It's like, I don't know why I didn't think to stuff it. So I was making a dress yesterday, trying to figure out this pattern, which sometimes is a little more difficult trying to figure out what somebody else is trying to say. So let's dry the back side here. Okay, so now let's put his nose on, just so I don't dump that. So I am putting a good bit, my glue stick fell out. I'm putting a good bit on here because I'm gluing it on a round surface. And I want it to really stick. I like using chalk paint on fabric because it dries really fast. So Gia from Gia's Creations is our host today. If you're not following her, please go give her a follow. She does a really nice job with this event, with all the events. So up after me is Rustic Daisies with Renee, and that's at 2 o'clock. At 3 is Crafting Barefoot with Sharon. At 4 is Grace and Sunflowers. 5 is Tracy's Crafty Creations. 6 is Gia's Creations. And 7, wrapping us up today, is Crafty Fox Creations by Tamara. So there, we have his nose on. So I'm going to put his eyes, and what I'm using are doll eyes that I cut the post off of. Let's set him up. And we're going to glue these on. Make sure they're even. Last thing we want is a cross-eyed Santa. That would not be very good. So this one needs some more glue. And I did remember to put Vaseline on the tip of my glue tool. That keeps your glue strings down to a minimum. Hi Teresa, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So I'm just going to squeeze these in there. So there so far. So let's get his hat. And I have a running stitch all along the bottom. So I made his hat different than what the original pattern called for. The original pattern called for wrapping strips of fabric around. I like the hat to be have a blouse to it. Hi Jody, hi Grace. So I made this a bit different. And I am relying on my memory from like 20 years ago. So that information could be all wrong. So we're going to pull it down. See, I like it bigger and blousier. And we're going to put some fiber fill up in there. Just to hold it out, but I do want it to have a scrunch on his head. So we're just going to push some up into that point. That's mainly where I want the fiber fill to be. So we're going to pull it down to where his face starts to be painted and pull our thread. Because not even Santa likes a tight hat on his head. Making sure that's all pulled down. And we're going to put a little bit of glue there too. So now I'm just going to knot this off. There we go. So this is Christmas July party. So I hope you all can hang around today and watch what everybody has. I'm interested in knowing. So we're just going to work this extra down around, and if we have to, we can make a few little glue spots here and there to hold it. I'm just making sure that the gather all the way around is good. And we're just going to put dabs of glue here and there. Just so the hat does not move. So this is something you just got to play with and get it to the way you like it to look. So there's what we have so far. Thank you. Yeah, moon claws. So if I recall that pattern, it had a witch, naturally a moon. There was a Santa, and there was one other, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what the other one was, because I no longer have that pattern. My store was destroyed by fire, so all of my old patterns are gone. Nothing like sticking your finger right in the glue. Ouch. I have this piece of felt, and I just did a running stitch down the center, and we are going to wrap this around. Instead of using fake fur, find my needle. I just gathered it right down the center. Well, I guess my needle's fallen off here somewhere. So we're just going to gather it some more. We're going to wrap this around the bottom of his hat. And it's going to be, now this felt, or this flannel frays. So I want it to be, look a little ragged, the frayed look. And I know I'm missing a whole bunch of comments. Pina colada. I've never had one. So we're just going to gather this. I'm folding the ruffle in half where the gather is, and we're going to tack it down all the way around so that it has a double ruffle. So this part I've already frayed, so I'm putting that on the top. So the lower ruffle is a little wider. I'm going to glue this in the back. Hi Diana, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So here and there I'm putting a little bit of glue between the ruffles just to hold them down. Santa Witch and a Ghost. Okay, so they still make the pattern? Because I had this pattern when I had my store, and that's been a long time ago. So that's good they still have it out there. Because a lot of patterns, the old patterns, you can still buy on like D-Stash groups or eBay or, you know, all of those sites. I'm making sure that I get this out of his eyes. So was it a McCall's or a Simplicity pattern? It was one of them. I did some Simplicity patterns because they bought a couple of mine. Okay, cut these gathering strings off. And we can cut this ruffle down. So because this frays, I'm folding the raw edge under. So there's that. Now I'm just going to go back and tack it a little bit better. To make sure it's down there, because you don't want to make something and then it start falling apart when you're hanging it on your door or something. So I must not have put enough Vaseline on the tip of this, because I'm getting a lot of strings. Okay, so there we go. We have him done so far. So what is so time consuming is his beard. So I did, I think, 36 of these spirals. So the way I like to do it, I don't remember what the pattern says, is take it, fold it in half, and then bring up the center. And that makes it really, really full. So that's a lot of gluing. So I messed around with this yesterday. Now the first row, I am gluing up towards, so then when it falls down, you won't see the ends of the fabric. So we have to glue all of these together, and I should have had some of these already done. Now Donna, that would be cute, but you could take this and you could add a cow to it and make up your own pattern. There you go, Donna, you got an idea. So this is just a moon shape. Like I said, the original one I think was like 30 inches. It was really big. So just folding it like that. And hopefully 36 or whatever I did of these is enough. Because without the original, and my memory is not good. I think I'm going to put him on my lap. There we go. Oh, you're quite welcome, Donna. Yeah, you could take a cow and add it to this and have your cow jumping over the moon. But I'm sure somewhere there's a pattern. So see, when we fold this back down, how full that is. So we're going to leave those up, and I'm just going to glue them right underneath of there. I'm leaving a space because this is extremely full between one row and another. Probably my glue pot would have been better than the gun. Oh, absolutely a black and white cow. Hi, Julie, welcome. So we took a moon and we're making a Santa. Oh, we got time. I thought I was running out of time. I was rushing here. So when I'm doing these, I'm not doing exactly in the middle on all of them. Some of them I'm going up a little higher, just so I have different lengths. So everything doesn't look like he's groomed neatly. So did you all hear that Dollar Tree is raising their prices again by the end of July? They are. Let's see. See how full that's going to be? So if there's something in your crafting that you always get at the Dollar Tree, I would stock up before the end of the month, which isn't that far off. I was assistant manager at a Dollar Tree back home, and I still get notifications for some reason, which is odd. I know they're going to be like, what is that other store, Five and Below? Yeah, all of their, like $1.25 is going to be $1.50, and $1.50 is going to be $1.75, and then some of the $5 prices are going up, and so, yep, they're going to have to change their. Hi Sheila, welcome. This is Creative Crafters Ensemble, Christmas July party, and I'm taking a moon. Hi Michelle, and I am making a Santa. So something a little different. I missed that about polyfill. Yeah, he is stuffed with polyfill and little bits of quilt batting, because I've been doing some quilting, which I need to do the one reveal sometime today. Thanks. Thank you for the hearts and thumbs up. So this is a good way to do doll hair too, doing this spiral from a circle of fabric. But when I do doll hair, I do much thinner spirals. This is like an inch thick on this one. But it's real cute for doll hair. So let me hold him up so you can see how full that beard is already. And I'm not going all the way to the back, because when you hang him, that fullness would be in the way. Oh, thanks, Sheila. All I did, I took a 6-inch circle and just spiraled it. That's how I got his beard. And this is drop cloth, not muslin. I think I said it was muslin earlier. It's drop cloth. So by folding this in half and then in half again, it gives a lot of fullness. So I'm leaving space between one row and the other. So we have to finish decorating him. So I appreciate all of you being here. Means more to me than you know. Thanks, Jody. So see, I'm not doing this one in the middle. I'm coming up. So this little bit here makes it full too. So I may have cut too many circles. So I have to do a little bit for his mustache yet. We haven't done that. So at least my phone is getting comments now. Earlier it wasn't. That drives me crazy. Because I can't see them up there. That's too far away. And I bought a magnifying glass, but I can't get it to work with my camera stand. So it would be nice because I could see up there. Because they make magnifying glasses for your phones and cameras, but I can't get mine to work with my stand. So he's got a real fluffy beard. He probably needs to go see his barber. So this is a free group. So if you're not a member of Creative Crafters Ensemble, please go join it. And Gia does a nice job. If you see creators on here that you're not following, please go follow them. This is how we get our pages to grow and support each other. So much for that Vaseline. It's not working at all today. So tiny dots of glue is all it takes to do this beard. Put another one back here. So I'm just doing from my side seam to side seam. Look at this. Okay, we got 15 minutes. So let me hurry up and get this done so we can finish him. Because we still have stuff to his face to do. Okay. Trying to get those glue strings off. So that's what we have so far. I'm going to stop doing his beard and come back to it because we still have a lot to do here. So I have just a white pom-pom. This is actually a hair tie, but I'm going to cut the elastic off of it. And I'm going to put it right on the tip of his hat with a big jingle bell. So I'm going to put this on first because I want it to hang down. And I just have jute on a needle, and I'm just threading it through. And then we're going to tie it off. And then put our pom-pom on there. So there's that, his jingle bell. I'm going to pull this hat back a little bit more. And glue his pom-pom right on the tip, right above that bell. You see that jingle bell? So I have some red berries and some pine, and I have a glue stick. I made some glasses out of wire that we're going to put on him. So I'm going to cut these extra pieces of wire off. And so I don't step on them, they're going directly in the trash because, knowing me, I'd end up with it in my foot. Then I'd be waking Tony up and saying, hey, I got wire stuck in my foot, we need to go to ER. Or go get a pair of pliers. Okay. So let's glue this a little bit. Right to his face. Thank you. Can you see the glasses? So maybe pull this back even a little more, so it's not so far in his face. Let's do a couple more little tucks here. That's better. There we go. So to his side of his hat, I'm going to take some of this pine, just a couple pieces, and glue it on. I have a cinnamon stick and another rusty star, so we're going to put those in here. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Hi, how are you? And let's take a couple little berries and stick them in for some color. Yep, that's what it needed. A little bit more color. Brings out the red in his hat. So we're going to go back to his beard. His glasses are coming off. I got to glue that again. Pull that glue off. There we go. Okay, we're going to go back to his beard and see if we can get it finished. We have a few minutes left. Up after me is Rustic Daisies with Renee. So you know if you're going to be watching me, you're watching something with fabric. Because I am a sewer. And I also teach sewing on here on my page. So if you just are starting out, you haven't sewn for a while, or you're making something and have a question, you can shoot me a message and I will help you out. I started sewing when I was 7th grade. I learned the basics and I have sewn ever since. Home ec class. I didn't like the teacher, but I sure learned a lot from her. So, Mrs. Klein, got to give her credit. My son had broken his arm, and we were going to the doctor for that, and she was in there because she fell and broke her leg, and her and I started talking. And she didn't know why her and I didn't get along, but even she knew that we didn't get along. But I did get a chance to tell her, thank you. I did get a chance to thank her for teaching me so much about sewing. She was an older lady at that time, and you did it her way or you didn't do it. You got a bad grade. She didn't let you express yourself at all. So this isn't my idea. This was either a McCall or a Simplicity pattern. I'm just going by an old photo that I found that I had made this, and I don't know which company it was, and I need some more beard. So 36 of these was not enough. Maybe when I hold it up and let it fall down, it might be. Yep, this is my last one. So this is drop cloth I used. And I either get my drop cloth from Harbor Freight or from Amazon. And I always use the thin weight. And I can't remember what that number is. So let's see, all I have to do is put a hanger on the back. Yeah, he needs a few more right here on the tip. So since I don't have any more coffee stained drop cloth, we'll have to do that later. But did one drop? Yes, one drop. So this is the Christmas July party, Creative Crafters Ensemble. And I'm Jenna with the Apple Dolly Creations, and Gia is our host. Gia, thank you for having me. And I'm the first presenter today. So we're going all the way to 7 o'clock as our last one. So you can get an up close view. See, the back is pretty plain. I didn't do any. I probably will paint the rest of this just so when you look at it, it doesn't look unfinished. Because I am one of those people that believe your project has to be finished all the way around. So I probably will finish painting the rest of that and make some more beard. But that is him. Oh, thank you, Gia. So there is his glasses and his face. He doesn't have a mouth because his beard is a little wild. Look, glue strings, and I used Vaseline. Wonder why it didn't work today. So the more I do this, the fluffier it's getting. So I may have been able to leave wider rows between. But see how gluing the first one going up and it folds over and you don't see that line. So I am so happy that you joined me. And I'm happy you stayed around. If I'm not following you, I will go follow you. And if you're not following me, I appreciate a follow. And please go follow Gia because she does a great job. I'm gluing his glasses back on because I pulled that glue off. So all I used was my little paint bottle and wrapped a wire around to make glasses. And I tucked them back behind his nose. That way his nose will help hold it. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Mom. You went a few rounds with her. Well, not everybody's personality always matches. Mine and hers definitely did not mesh. She needs pink cheeks. So we have a couple minutes. I'm going to give him cheeks. So I'm using the Cameo Pink with a wet brush and just giving him some cheeks. He only needs one because the back side you don't see. But it's just faint right there. So God bless all of you. Hang around and watch Rustic Daisies with Renee. I will see you over there. If you're on the Creative Crafters Ensemble page, just pull down to refresh. Otherwise, you can go over to her page. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. I appreciate it. And I will see you over there. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Mrs. Bonds. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. God bless.